Thank you, Chair. You know, when I go to a restaurant, I look at the score when you go in. If it's an F, I'm not going in that restaurant. When I decided what public school to send my daughter to, she is a public school kid, I looked at the scores. I looked at the math, reading, yeah. And that's how I chose which school to send my daughter to. What I am hearing is we're not really going to be looking at those as much. You know, there's extracurricular activities. If I want to personalize my daughter's experience, I can put her in those. I can put her in different clubs. I can put her in after-school church activities, whatever. What I'm kind of hearing is you want to move away from those core math, reading, and writing. And right now in our Kentucky kids, we just got the scores. They're not where they need to be. Is that...
Well, I'll let them respond, but I'll just say first, we think those are important, but we know there's a lot more to that education picture. And so when you think about accountability, we have federal and we have state. Those things ought to be fairly stable, right? They shouldn't change much over time because we know those big overarching goals, and we're not asking to take those away, but we're saying there's some real estate in the accountability space where you ought to look at that local picture that they described and add that to the school report card, for example, and so that parents can also see these things.
Well, really quick, Chair. Right now, our kids are not proficient. A majority of them are not proficient at reading, writing, and math. We're kind of, the way I see it, we're jumping ahead of ourselves. Let's concentrate on those things because that's the biggest indicator of success. If our kids can't read, if they can't write, and they can't comprehend, they're not going to be successful.
And we agree with you on that. We just think there's some formative ways to show that progression. It may be more useful to parents, but we know for certain they're more useful to students in deciding what they need to do next in their learning, and really more useful for teachers in designing instruction.
Representative Bojanowski, you'll be